today I want to show you something really cool. I've been trying for years to find out a way to have Apple shortcuts automatically rename my files, especially my invoice files. So whenever I get an invoice or a receipt from an online service or a product I bought on Amazon and so on, I would manually download it to my computer, rename it, and move it to my Dropbox. And that for average computer users, that might sound completely normal, but for me, that's a repetitive task, and I hate it. So I found a way to automate it using Apple shortcuts. It took me some years to get here because the technology just really hasn't been there yet. But now it really works, especially with some of the upgrades around AI, OpenAI's API. So here on the screen right now, you're looking at it. This is my setup for automating generating PDFs from the iPhone directly. So whenever you get an email, you can actually get into a print screen. So if you go to the bottom of the email app and then click the arrow, you will get this sort of share feature where you can forward and reply and so on. But if you scroll a bit down, you'll get to print, and there you will get actually a PDF pop-up. And there you can then decide what you want to do with it, and you have the share menu in the very top, and that gives you Apple shortcuts available to do whatever you want. So I made what you see here on the screen, and this allows you to rename files, copy it, moving it around. So I'll just go through the setup here, and hopefully you get inspired. Maybe you can make one for yourself. So let's dive into it. Initially, whenever you click the share screen, you will actually just get in either a PDF or text, depending on where you do it on your iPhone. I just mentioned mail and then the print, and in that case, you would get a PDF. But you might also just share an email or some other text to directly like this. So in the case that it is not a PDF you're sharing, I'm actually turning it into a PDF before moving forward. And then when I have a PDF, I turn it back into text so I can analyze it. And I extract the text from the PDF up here and input it into my little prompt down here. So here I've specified what it is I want the API to do. I want to create a file name based on the input. I get the original file in case there's some interesting info in the file that might be the invoice number or something like this. Then I continue on to describe the file format that I prefer. In this case, I want month first, so that when I see my invoice overview, I always have the months. And then next, it's sorted by date and then by year. I always have my invoices in a folder per year, so that is not a problem if I don't put the year in front of it. Then I want the AI to automatically find out who the selling company is and what product I bought in this case. So it could be a service or an Amazon product, whatever. It would actually automatically figure out what it is and put it in here. And here I give some examples. So it could be October the 10th of 2023, and it's a DigitalOcean server hosting invoice. And then I move down to describe how I want the output to become. I want it completely clean, no explanation, no, hey, I'm a chatbot, I don't scrape the internet, all this stuff they write sometimes. I just want it clean, just the file name. And then I give the actual content from the PDF as the input here. And then I also tell me that my company name is Trigger Growth, so I don't want it to put that in there if it somehow finds that company name in the invoice. Then I move on to actually sending this request to OpenAI and use their DaVinci model. And some of these are just settings for the creativity and so on, and the max tokens. I don't want a lot of text coming out, just a clean file name. Then I extract some information using regular expression. For example, I would like the year out. So, for example, up here we have 23, and I use that down here to put it into folders. So this is actually an imaginary path because mine looks a bit different. But it would be invoices and then 2023 and then the name of the invoice. And then I actually change the name of the PDF. And finally, I save it to Dropbox, giving these settings. So yeah, that's all there is to it. It might look a bit complicated if you haven't worked with Apple shortcuts before, but I also just wanted to give you some sort of idea of what's possible with this technology, and just the new opportunities that are with all this OpenAI stuff, like renaming files or figure out what's in files, like summaries and so on. There's a bunch of opportunities. And now with the new action buttons on iPhone and Apple Watch, we can really do some cool stuff with shortcuts. So I might share some other cool things in some coming videos. So subscribe if you haven't, and thank you so much for watching today.